You just need really clean stuff that's precise, doesn't affect the sort of relationship of the elements in the production, especially in the mastering process. So with the Equitech unit, I got it when I was in the middle of working in a project. So I started printing masters, and then I went back and listened to the stuff that I had done previously, and I decided to just redo the whole thing because it's a better sound, you know. Sometimes you get these things you wish you could redo everything that you've done for the last year. And this is something that you find out by working with it and sending it to people. And basically, you're trying to find something that when you send it to somebody, they'll say, oh yeah, that sounds really good. I love that. Sometimes I'll start tearing up, actually, because that's really what the whole thing is about, is sort of emotional engagement, especially pop music. It's about emotion. Like the Billie albums, it's a big responsibility because there was such a lot riding on it. I'm John Greenham. I'm a mastering engineer. My company is called Clearlight Mastering. I'm in my studio in Hollywood, California. My old joke about this, basically all engineers are failed musicians, and mastering engineers are failed musicians that don't have the social skills to run a session. So we have to be in a room by ourselves. But I'm joking, of course. That's not really necessarily true. It's interesting working with somebody else, in this case, my daughter, because the mastering thing, you don't meet many people that you can talk to about it, let's put it that way. So I hired her to do the scheduling and keep up with the emails and stuff like that. One day I was doing something with an EQ and she was sitting on the couch. I put the EQ in and she said, whatever you just did, that sounds really good. And I was like, okay, well, because it's like the mastering stuff's like 1/10 of a dB. She heard it. So then she started doing stuff, and yeah, she can do it. She's really good at it. She has good taste, which is basically the qualification. It's a vibe. Being a mastering engineer, it's a matter of taste. Not everybody agrees about taste, but most people kind of know it when they hear it. I think the best analogy is that it's like color correction in film, you know, because you give the whole thing a look and a feel consistent. You've got a bunch of different things that were shot in different locations and different lighting, and you sort of pull it all together, and also you can kind of accentuate certain things. Most of the stuff that I work on is put together by people who generally know what they're doing. One of the main aspects of the job is to make people feel confident that what they've got is as good as it could be. What keeps me excited about the future of music? Every once in a while, somebody will come up with something new. The transition from big hair music, then Nirvana appeared, and then Billie's album was like that, actually. In your career, if you're fortunate, you'll be a part of something like that. Our record was like very well put together. You can have a lot of low end if you don't have a lot of other competing elements in the middle and just that voice on top of it. It was a beautiful thing, you know, it really was. It has very little low frequency component, so it has the whole top end of the whole thing. The rest of it is pretty dark, and it had all that low end and stuff. I listened to it in my car and I was like... I was like, yeah, I might be getting into trouble for this. You can turn it up really loud and it doesn't hurt you. You know, it sounds really good. It's kind of soft. Usually with those records, there's a big gang of like 50 people up on stage, or at least there used to be. But it was just me and Rob Kanelsky and Billy and Phineas. There's only 4 of us involved in that record. Since then, if you notice at the Grammys, there's no engineers go up with the artists anymore. And so I said to Rob, you know, probably like they saw us go up there and they said, okay, let's not do that again, because I think that we were the last engineering people to go up on stage with the artists. They just want the good-looking people up there, you know. The sort of more popular things you work on also have to be done really quickly. You don't have any time to mess around with it, really. That's where all the experience and the years that you've been doing it, you could just kind of figure out how to do it like that. It's like a big machine that you're a small part of, and you just have to do your job. It makes your life easier. This is the whole thing with gear, actually. It's that you want something that you just, okay, that sounds great, print it. Different types of gear that we use, it has to be built pretty high spec so that it sounds better when you run the thing through. It sounds actually better, just with no adjustments or anything. So the actual box sounds good. Most people are focused on the compressor or the thing or the plugins or whatever. But there's the power, there's the AC. The noise floor is an important consideration, generally speaking. Well, especially in the mastering process, quieter is definitely better. So with the Equitech unit, I got it when I was in the middle of working in a project. So I started printing the masters, and then I went back and listened to the stuff that I had done previously, and I decided to just redo the whole thing because it's a better sound, you know. Sometimes you get these things you wish you could redo everything that you've done for the last year. You know, most people just plug stuff in and start working. But actually, it's a really important part of the whole process to be able to hear the difference. When you're listening to it on your earbuds, does it make a difference? And I believe that it does. The Equitech has the filtered outlets, which you use for the A to D, the computer, the D to A. You plug everything into it, and it sounds better. That's all there is to it. You know, it's like, it just sounds better. When you find something that's better, if you're in the mastering business, you kind of have to buy it, really. Otherwise, what are you doing? We're supposed to make things sound better, get it so that it's like more exciting. That's the sound, right? It's the party sound. That's what I try for. If they write back and they say, I love this, that's really cool. With label people, it just says, this is approved because it's gone through the different layers. But you work with the individual artists and they say, I love the way this sounds. That makes you really happy. You know, you've done your job. It's good.